Andrew and Bobby.
Great. Nice tie, Annie.
Andrew.
Don't miss the old black one thing.
Good afternoon. So this report seeks your approval of the adoption of some changes to the development contributions policy you instigated last year. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Councillor Watson.
Just a quick refresh.
Councillor Watson, Councillor Walker.
Just hold your horses today. I think I answered this question before, but could you just tell me why in the Schedule 3, page 187 or 19 of 33, just remind me why there's a difference in and this is just in the reserve acquisition between places like the North Shore and the Hibiscus Coast, like where the Hibiscus Coast is half the North Shore?
It's due to the capital expenditure. So in Rodney, we received a lot of revenue that we could apply to the parks that we'd purchased up there, and so that reduces the cost. So it was already funded. So we spent a lot of money and we received a lot of income to offset it.
Yes. So what about the new developments that are coming on then?
That's still in the wider costs.
In the wider cost, so they benefit from that money that was paid in before?
Well, a lot of the money offset the reserves that we actually purchased. So it's like we received, from one development, we received about $2 million in cash, and we used $2 million to purchase land in that area as well.
Councillor Walker.
Yep, really just a comment, and that's to reflect on the woeful inadequacy of the reserve contributions, and I know that's a decision that was made some time ago through the long-term plan process, but you'd be lucky if at current prices we're getting around 1% now, and that's compared with 7.5% that we used to have under the original reserve contributions regime. So just reflect on that, 1% compared to 7.5%, that's what we're looking at now in Auckland. So there is no way that Aucklanders are going to be enjoying the kind of open spaces that they have in the past in any new areas, and for that matter, in any brownfield areas where you've got intensification.
Fair comments. No one else? Well, I'm happy to move this. Councillor Cashmore might have jumped in there, so I will put that. All those in favour?
Aye.
Thank you. Thank you. Is Lee here? Lee is here, yes.
Here, Mr. Chairman.
Item 16? 15?
16.
We're done there.
Just passed.
All yours, Lee.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman, councillors.
16. 206, page 206.
I know that you've had a very long day. Do you wish me to go over the matters briefly, or can I assume
another 4 hours? Come on.
or can I assume you've read the
Mr.
report
Chair,
and I'll
I'll
answer
move
questions?
It's straightforward, Mr.
Yeah, I'll second
Chair.
it.
Just another PPP?
No, it's not.
Well, in effect, it is.
PPP.
It actually is in
It's
effect.
PPP.
It's
PPP.
A lot more.
But not the way this
No.
current form.
Has someone moved it?
Do we have a
Yeah, I'll
mover and a
move it.
second?
I'll second it.
Yeah.
No, we have Councillor Cooper.
Okay.
Just put it.
Do we have any questions? No. We
No.
put the motion. All those in favour?
Aye.
Thank you. Carried. Reports pending.
Happy to move,
Procedural,
Mr. Chair.
moved.
Catch you later.
Mr. Chair,
Seconded by Councillor Darby.
I'd like to move that a report be brought to a future meeting. It may not be the next, on the allocation made in 2010 of $3 million to the Harbour Access Trust.
Do you have a seconder?
A call for a second on that?
Yeah, I'll second that.
Thank you. Just speaking briefly, Mr. Chair, there's an allocation. It was made in 2010, picked up by this council. It was for a capital expenditure. It hasn't been uplifted. and there have been recent decisions at the Devonport Takapuna Local Board which make it very unlikely that that project will proceed, and I think it needs to be aired here at this Finance Committee.
Yep, that's fine. Would you like, so you're seconding A and B,
That's
Councillor
fine,
Darby,
yeah.
and the mover's happy to add that to? Yes? So I don't know who was the mover.
I was the mover.
Wayne, okay.
Happy?
All right, no further discussion. We'll put those A and B. All those in favour?
Aye.
Against? It's carried. Right, we will now go into confidential.